YouTube, welcome to the Comic Book Community 411. And tonight, my special guest is Mr. SVaughn82. Scotty, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
Yeah, it's great to catch up with you. I've mentioned to some of the other guests, it's just always great to kind of talk with somebody one on one to get to know them a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure. For
And
sure.
I'm trying to think. I mean, your channel's fairly new to me. I think I found it, 3-4 months ago, if that long.
Hmm.
Um, but I really like the content that you produce. You're doing, obviously a lot of us do comic book hauls and hunts and things like that. But you're also doing a little bit more of, some history. You've mixed in some history and some more informational type stuff that I really enjoy. And
Thanks.
then I stumbled across the video that hooked me into your channel was I had stumbled across a video that you did there was a personal um, it was a very personal video to you and about how the comic book community has really kind of helped you out, comic book collecting and that. And so that hooked me to your channel because it was just like there was a connection. Like, wow, comics has been a really good thing. So when I saw that, I was like, wow, I need to watch the content that Scott's producing. So
That's really cool. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear
yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, I think I mentioned it. I think I know I commented on the video, but I wanted to mention that to you in person. I mean, and I know we've DM back and forth on Instagram, that kind of thing. But yeah, no, that video, that personal video, because then it was like, oh wow, I got a little bit more insight about you as a person,
Hmm.
and there was like that connection, like this is somebody I want to follow and support. Um,
Well, that's
so
cool. I
I just figured
definitely
I'd let you
felt.
know that.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It was definitely something that was hard to talk about, but I wanted to put it out there in case somebody was going through something similar.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I've seen some, there's been a lot of videos, not a lot, but there are some videos, some channels that, hey, let me know if you need to talk about anything. People, you don't know what people are going through in their personal life. And so I think that's great that I've seen that a few times within the community where people are putting stuff out there and just saying,
Yeah.
hey, pick up the phone, send me a message. I'm there for you if you need some support or, somebody to talk to. So, um, I think that's great, and certainly when you're putting yourself out there a little bit from a sharing personal stuff.
Yeah.
It's good to get some feedback or to get some praise for that type of content. So that's why I figured I'd mention it. So
Thank you. I appreciate
yeah.
that.
So let's jump into the comic book question. So 411, what we do is we'll do 4 comic book related questions, a random question I'll pick, and then a random question that either the guest can come up with or I have a list of questions. So, but we'll jump into your comic book story. How did you get involved with comic books and collecting?
Okay. I collected as a child. I was a big Marvel fan as a child. I still do have really good parents, but as a kid, they would take me to a local baseball card shop and allow me to pick up comic books and comic cards. And me and the neighborhood friends, the guys that I grew up with, we would trade comic book cards. And I grew out of collecting comic books, I guess, when I hit my teens. Um, but I always kind of had a hand in comic books one way or another over the years. For years, I played Marvel Contest of Champions on a mobile app, and
Oh,
I was SVaughn82 on there and led an
okay.
alliance. And then I was SVaughn82 on Marvel Strike Force over the years. And then um, COVID hit, and I basically got bored like everybody else. And I always kind of would go into comic shops from time to time to just look around, but I was really only picking up trades, if anything. And so like I had a lot of trades, but I really just got back into comic book collecting about probably a year and a half ago now.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I've been a lifelong. It started off just as a child, just the I loved comic books.
Yeah, and I think that's, it's you hear that similar type of point in somebody's life in comic book collecting where they kind of stray away from the hobby for, and typically it's like, later teens, early 20s when,
Hmm.
they're, whether it's chasing, men or women or, or college or job or whatever life things going on,
Yeah.
so you hear that quite, quite frequently. It was similar for me, just in my late teens, early 20s, just kind of, fell out of the hobby. But, now getting back in after many years, it's you retain, you still have this kind of base of knowledge from when you were in the hobby or collected. So it's
Yeah.
something that's, maybe it's, useless knowledge, but you have that knowledge.
And I love it, man. I don't know what I would do without it. I have a great passion for comic books.
Yeah, no, it definitely shows. And like I said, in some of the videos that you do, some of the different, just some of the history of it, or like you profiled some 3D about 3D comics,
Yeah.
and I find those videos really interesting because I'm am interested to learn about the history of it,
Hmm.
as well. Not not only the great variant covers that are coming out, but the history definitely is a an interest, for me. So
It's super fun making them too because I'm asking. I don't know this stuff before I made the videos most of the time, so I'm learning this stuff, and hopefully other people are learning from watching it. And
yeah, the research piece of it, right? It's probably fun to kind of dig into some of those.
I learn something new every time.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. So then how did you make the leap from, collecting, as a kid and coming back to the hobby to then saying, all right, now I need to start a YouTube channel?
The YouTube channel was going to be recovery related at first,
Okay.
and I have a group on Facebook, and it's about 800 members that I'd started, and it was recovery, and I was going to kind of put that on YouTube, just kind of go from Facebook group to YouTube, and I don't know. I just ended up. I love comic books so much, and I didn't have the outlet to talk about. I don't have friends here that I can talk about them to. So I felt like I needed the outlet to to show my love for the comic books. Um, and it just kind of came that way.
No, okay.
It,
All right.
but
No,
yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, because I mean, to take a leap from collecting to actually then producing videos about comics, you obviously have to have a a passion or a love for it. So,
There's
um,
just so many questions. I had so many questions, and that's what the videos come from. What is a blank sketch? I know what a blank sketch variant is, but what started it? Why did that become a thing? And
right,
so many questions,
right,
and that's where.
yeah, yeah. Because when I got back into collecting just a couple years ago as well, when I had originally collected in the '80s, there were no blank sketch covers. There were no grading services. There were no 27 variants, for an issue. It
Exactly.
was 12 issues a year, an annual. That was it.
Yeah.
It was streamlined back in the day where you didn't have all these shiny distractions of all the variant covers and sketch covers and things like that. So it made things a little bit easier back in the day because it was, you could narrow your focus because there weren't so many options.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's crazy. Some of the books, how many
Yeah, I
variants
think
we get.
I was just looking up on League of Geeks earlier today. There's 27 covers of the Incredible Hulk #6 coming out this week.
Oh yeah, yeah, and
Yep.
that AMS #1. Have you seen how many covers?
Yes, yes,
Oh, that's gonna break your wallet just for that one alone.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy, and
Yeah,
unfortunately, and there's a ton of great covers. So it's like,
they're awesome. They're all
yeah,
awesome. You got
yeah,
Momoko, Gleason, J. Scott Campbell. So many good artists.
yeah. I think Scotty Young's got. Yeah,
Dottie
just
Young.
I'm already sweating, starting to think about the money I'm going to spend that week.
Oh man, yeah. Have to work some overtime.
So What about a character or a comic book? If you had the opportunity to, reboot or change a storyline, who would it be, or what would it be?
Okay. I have two that I Angela, the character that her first appearance being in what it was at Spawn, I don't know, 8 or 9 somewhere,
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
and then she came later in Marvel into the Guardians of the Galaxy. Through that whole lawsuit, I like that character, and I don't know. I know that they did an Angela series on Image back in the day, but I don't. If they've done one on Marvel, I haven't seen it. I don't know. I don't know
yeah.
that has
I don't know. I mean, I know the first appearance in Spawn is it 7 or 8, and then the whole Marvel, coming back to Marvel, or coming to Marvel. But I don't know that much. Other than that, like history piece of it, I don't know much about the character.
Yeah, she's a cool character though. I would like to see an Angela series, and I'd like to see the Max. I'd like to see the Max come back.
Okay.
That's a really the Max to this day still has a pretty decent cult following. So yeah, I'd
Okay.
love to see the Max and some like original Sam Keith stuff, like
Okay.
him back doing it. That'd be awesome.
That's good. Those are not different choices. I think, right? Different than I think when people say, "Oh, I want to redo something," they're thinking more of the mainstream characters. So that's good. That's interesting to consider.
It's funny. I always kind of liked the oddball characters. For example, Speedball was one of my favorites as a kid.
Okay.
So I always like those oddball characters.
Well, yeah. I mean, Spider-Man has had some oddball, um, villains over the years. I think they were just trying to throw something at the wall and see what would stick with some
Yeah,
of the characters they would come up with.
yeah, for sure.
All right, so that's pretty much the comic book. Well, no, I do. I always do this. There is one more because it's a little bit less comic book directly related, but as a community, whether it's the YouTube community or the collecting community, what's one thing that you don't like, or your biggest complaint about comic books?
Uh, I love all the variants, but I don't love all the variants at the same time. Um, I don't know. I don't know because I mean I like a lot of different things. I wish Xenoscope would put more into their writing. If I wish Xenoscope would put as much into their writing as they do the art.
Right.
Um, really, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of negative to say about as far as comic books.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you though. I think like we just were talking about Spider-Man, the new Amazing Spider-Man #1 that's comes out in next week or 2 weeks. Um, there are so many great. So it's so great to see all the different various artists do the covers, but then it's like, wow, there's 30 covers at $5 a pop.
Man,
You can go broke trying to get them all, but there are so many good ones, and then you kind of I end up trying to figure out, all right, maybe I want to buy 5 of them, and which of the 5 are my favorite, and it's hard to come up with that because the artwork is so great.
on
So
all of them, they're all so great. I
yeah,
kind of just wish they would spread it out a little bit, maybe through like issues 2, 3, 4, and 5 or something.
right, right, give
Maybe
you a
that
little
would,
bit.
yeah, I guess maybe that would be my complaint, that maybe they could do something like that and be a little easier on our wallets.
Yeah, I agree. That would work. That would work because I think you would certainly have people that then pick up. If it was spread out, then they would have probably a better opportunity to pick up more of the covers over a period of time as opposed to just that one week for that one issue.
Yeah, and they say that the sales aren't as good for after issue ones. The sales are going to be better Well, if you had a really hot Gleason cover on issue 3 or 4, people are still going to run and get that. So the sales are, if they spread it out like that, it would maybe issue
Right.
3 would be as good as issue 1. And I don't know, just they could find a way
Yeah.
to spread it out. I'm sure.
I'm sure. Well, I'm not sure they know what they're doing, but they're doing something to try to make money. So,
Yeah, I'm sure they have a method to the madness.
all right. So that is the fourth question. So that's the four kind of comic book related questions. Now I'll throw my random question at you. So, what is your game plan in a zombie apocalypse?
My game plan.
who
Well,
who you riding with?
okay, I got you. I'm in the South, so I'm gonna find my redneck friends, and I'm gonna find the crazy one who has the underground bunker, because I'm sure it exists somewhere around here. And that's gonna be my game plan. I'm gonna go running towards the country where my dad lives, and
That sounds like a solid game plan. Yep. I think
they're well armed out there. So
yeah, I think we all have, one or two of those friends that are, already preparing. So,
yeah,
yeah, we just got to go find them.
yeah,
All right. So, last question is a random question. So, like I said, I have a list of over 50 questions. So, just give me a number, random number, 1 through 50,
mm-hmm.
and that'll be your question.
We'll go with 21.
21. Okay, this is a pretty straightforward one. What is your favorite way to unwind?
Oh, this is an easy one. My favorite way to unwind would be just getting paid, going to the comic book shop, provided everything's paid first. Go to the comic book shop, grab some good books, come home and just relax. And there's really nothing more that I would rather do. Well, actually, I do love going out on the hunt. I love going out and looking through comic book bins, and that's something that I do to unwind, or hanging out and watching movies with my girlfriend. I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but we do have our shows we watch on Hulu and Netflix and stuff. So that's one of my favorite ways for sure.
Yeah, my wife and I, we watch less. We have certain shows that we watch, like 3 or 4 shows, and then, if a new series comes in. But yeah, it's I don't watch a lot of just like regular shows anymore. I'm spending too much time on YouTube, so I don't have time for.
Yeah,
I don't have time for regular TV anymore.
Yeah, you got to be on YouTube all the time, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm lucky where I have a computer. I'm basically sitting at a desk, and so I have access to a computer pretty much my entire day. So there's opportunity, to be able to, check in with YouTube, here and there throughout the day. So it makes things a little bit easier.
Cool.
Catching up on video and stuff. So so that's it. Those were the 6 questions. But anything else you want to mention about yourself, your channel, videos you got coming up?
Yeah, I'm still pretty small as a channel. I think I'm at like 154 on subscribers. I am going to be preparing a giveaway when I hit 200 subscribers. I want to do a good giveaway for that. And I also will be I did like a random act of kindness giveaway not too long ago. And I'm going to be doing one of those soon. But for anybody that wants to go check out my channel, SVaughn82, you can go check it out, and I'll be doing some good giveaways and hopefully coming with some cool content in the near future.
Yeah, and links, I have the links. I'm going to have the links in the description for both your channel and your Instagram. So please go out and give Scott a follow. He's got a great channel. If you don't mind too, I'll link into the one video that we kind of referenced, that one, personal video that you kind of put out there about how.
Yeah, that's totally
I think that's a great video that people should see, because I'm sure there are others in similar, situation, whether they were in the past or maybe in the future, that
Hmm.
I think that video would be, good for them to watch. And like I said, that video was the one that really kind of sold me on your channel. Like, wow, there's a real deep connection here with comic books, and there's a real there's a real life reason why there's a passion for comic books, and that, like I said, that really, hooked me into your channel.
And
um,
and I want to touch back on that too. I do plan on doing a kind of more updated video, touching on that a little bit more, because I have 28 months almost under my belt now, so I feel like I have even more to say and more to offer to somebody that may need to hear it.
that's great, congratulations. Yeah, that's, and that's one of the things I've been kind of kicking around. Because obviously the YouTube and the comic book community is great. We do a lot of, but we're talking a lot about just comic books and the hobby and collecting and the hunt. But um, some of I think it might be beneficial to have like a live show or kind of a roundtable, and just maybe, and there's some channels that discuss some of the topics. Dank Comics or the Dank Show.
I love
He
Dank.
does he does some stuff like just life stuff, and I think if we could intertwine that within the comic book stuff,
Hmm.
I think that would be helpful, because, like I said, I don't think you don't really have any idea what's going on in somebody's, personal life, what they might be dealing with or going through, and it could be, it could be helpful, and I'm certainly interested in it too, just, as I move through life trying to improve myself and, make my life better. That it's
Hmm.
always interesting to hear other points of views of, what somebody's dealing with or going through or what they've overcome. And I think it could be helpful to others. So
Yeah, and I just want to spread some encouragement to somebody else, because I mean, like, I've received so much encouragement from other people in this community and in the real world, and I even got your note right here. I got it posted right here to the side on my wall. Every time
that's
somebody
cool.
sends me something, I put it up. So I still got your notes you wrote me in the AOK. So yeah, it's awesome, the encouragement that you get, and I just want to give that back.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the whole AOKs and being able to pay it forward. I've been a big fan of that for years. Just, because you never know. Like I said, you just never know what somebody's dealing with, and holding a door for somebody, or saying something nice to them may just turn their day around and brighten their day. So
Yeah.
I think, and I really like what the comic book community does, with the giveaways and the AOKs, and just the generosity in general. um, I'm like, how can we capture that just in from a life perspective, and not only just from comic books, but how can we take that positive energy and, like, throw it out into the world, even, and make it bigger and better. So
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
yeah. So, all right. So, like I said, links down below. Please go check out SVaughn82. I'll link into the video we've been discussing as well. Definitely go check that out. It's much must watch YouTube content. Um, but Scott, thanks very much. Thanks for coming on. It's great to, catch up with you and chat with you.
Thank you for having me, Brian. Yeah, it was a pleasure.
All right. All right. Take care, everybody.